Okay, we're live with live
with Kelsey from Medtronic. I'm gonna put a link below. Make sure you use my coupon code so I'll get commission. Okay, just kidding. But hey, Kelsey with Medtronic, seriously. We're gonna talk about Bravo and PillCam. So high level overview of Bravo. It is ruling in or ruling out GERD. So a lot of times if they're pre-surgery, a Bravo test, insurance will cover the cost of their anti-reflux surgery, or if they're in here and they're symptomatic and your GIs don't know what's going on, they'll get a Bravo and or motility to kind of figure out, hey, is our issue with GERD or is it a motility issue? So that's what Bravo does. You guys have Bravo calibration free. This is a recorder and it comes with a capsule. So the capsules come in a box of 5 and they pair to the Bravo recorder wirelessly. So when it's time to pair a capsule, I'm just gonna go over overview of this and then we'll do patient's instructions post in a second. When it comes to pairing this, it's super simple. I tell everybody it's like a cell phone. Press any button to wake it up. So just like we have our iPhones and our iPhones are blank, we usually have to press a button to wake it up before we can slide it open and use it. Same thing with the Bravos. You just have to wake it up first. It has a 30-second timer and then it closes itself out to save the battery. So if it's blank, just press any button, it'll wake it up. We have date, time. Always need to make sure it's correct, especially if it's daylight savings time. The reason it matters, an hour maybe wouldn't make a really big difference, but if it were a couple of hours off, meaning like if this battery died and it wasn't keeping time, it could really throw off the results of their study, meaning that if they were sleeping at one time on the recorder, but in real life it was a different time, it might confuse the doctor, hey, why are they having reflux symptoms at this time of day? That's not a normal time, or they shouldn't be sleeping, whatever. So we just need to make sure that the date and time are correct. It just matters from a standpoint of when you read the study. So I can walk you guys through, and I can try to do this and like show it on this video. This is the main screen, and you gotta go look at that. So there's 2 options. There's start, study, or settings.
Oh.
Do you see this?
I see.
Okay, so the arrow in the middle, this is our toggle. So you just need to use the middle button, so the one that the arrow is over, that's how you toggle down to the next one. And then the button over here in the corner with the arrow that's kind of curved, that's our enter button. So that's how you press select. So you have your toggle button and your enter button. So that's how you manipulate this. So when it's time, so we're gonna wake it up, any button to wake it up. Okay, so we're gonna toggle down to settings. So there was an audible click and the arrow moved down. We're gonna press enter, we're going into the settings. So as you can see, it's set up for 1 capsule, 48 hours. So if your doctor's like, no, I wanna do a 96 hour, or I wanna do a 24 hour, this is where you would change it.
Okay.
So we're gonna toggle down. So see, the arrow is now up here on the corner. Can we see that on the video? Arrow's up here in the corner. So if we wanna change this from a 48-hour study to a 96-hour study, we've gotta toggle down and press enter. So we're gonna toggle down, we're gonna press enter. Now we have the option of 24, 48, or 96 hours. Do the same thing, toggle to which one you want and press enter. So that when you go back to the main screen and you're ready to start your study, it should reflect the time of study that you wanna do. So let's just for fun, we're gonna do a 96 hours. So we're gonna toggle down, press enter. So now.
Oh wait, is enter this one or is it the square?
It's this one right here.
Oh,
the one with the, so see how this arrow is down and over?
So it's an enter. Okay.
So now we've changed it from a 48-hour to a 96-hour Bravo. That's all you do. So that's probably the main thing that you'll need to know how to do is, you might have a physician that says, yeah, I want a 48, and you have one that says I want a 96. That's probably the most frequent one you'll need to change, and that's how you do it. That's how you would go in and change any setting. Same thing with time. Hey, we have daylight savings. We need to change the hour back of time. Go down, toggle down to time, press enter, toggle to the number, press enter. So you always toggle and enter, toggle and enter. Questions with just how to set up?
Is there a possibility that we set it up for 48 but it shut down at 24 hours? That happened?
Not unless the battery's not fully charged.
I thought it was.
So if it's not holding battery,
yes, that's
if it's
the
not
issue.
holding battery, then we need to call it into tech support, because then that means there's an issue with the recorder and we need to get you a new recorder.
That's one of the issues.
And they should be under warranty, depending on, because these are fairly new.
So tech support, okay. For
So
the
tech
battery.
support is only going to be, so what they'll do is they'll reference it by the serial number. So this sticker, this Medical City sticker is over it, but we'll have to access the serial number. and we'll give them the serial number, and they'll be able to tell us, hey, it's still under the manufacturer warranty. What they'll do is they'll overnight you one, and then you put this recorder back in the same box they ship it to you, and it's like you got a brand new recorder, Biomed will check it in, boom, you're ready to go. If it's not that issue, meaning let's just say they can figure it out, and then what they'll do is on the phone they'll try to help you troubleshoot it first, and if none of those work, they'll look into replacing it. If it's out of warranty and you didn't buy a service plan, then you have to pay to either get a new one, because we don't repair them. But the only other option would be that the battery is not staying charged, or wasn't fully charged when it went. If it's working properly, meaning that it's not a recorder issue, the only reason it would not last is because it wasn't charged fully. Are we sure it's turning off, or is it just going blank and the patients are wondering?
The patient said
So they said it was turning off in the 24-hour mark, and but it wasn't the setting, because I was in there with her when she was setting it. It was 48 hours.
Okay.
The one, she was just pretty much said it just turned off. She heard a beeping noise before it went off.
So beeping noise means it's going out of range.
Yeah,
So-
too far.
So this is part of the patient instructions. I don't want to get too far ahead, but these recorders, they technically have a 6-foot radius, meaning it needs to be within 6 feet of the capsule at all times, or it's going to beep. We still tell patients, and I would still tell you to in-service them 3 feet, because they will try to make 6 feet into 10, and then it's going to hold. So just tell them
3 feet.
3 feet. So that it needs to be, so when they take a shower, it needs to sit on top of the potty while they shower, and then they get out and it's right there. Because if they leave it in the other room, it's gonna beep, and it will not. And so it's probably gonna look like it's turning off, because it's gonna go blank, and it's gonna be bleeping red. Whereas when a capsule is paired, it's blinking blue.
So if another one goes off, we'll just call tech support.
That's right. And then we would need to monitor this serial number. Is it just this recorder, or is it another recorder?
So far it's just one. So we'll see.
Okay, so
yeah.
let's just monitor it, and I can take note of the serial number before I leave too, and we can just watch
Okay.
it. And then just let's make sure that we're for sure it's fully charging, because the other thing is when you charge this battery, some people think that they're plugging in all the way, and it's not plugged in all the way. So you have to, you'll hear like a click. So you'll think it's in there tight, but then you can still push it a little bit farther, and it's not actually charging. So just make sure you really get it in there, especially when they're new like this. And they're not used as like in and out as much.
Mhm. And the indication of it being full battery is 3 bars, right?
No, it'll have like it'll be a full, so the battery, let me go in here and see if I can show you the battery.
Oh, so you can actually check it.
Like dark.
Yeah, it'll be fully dark. Kind of like
yeah.
your iPhone.
Yeah,
So
the
like,
little
an
battery.
iPhone it's like fully green, and then
Yeah.
it like starts getting black, and then like at the bottom it'll get red.
Yeah.
So when it's fully charged, it'll be all the way black.
Okay.
So if it has less than full, then that's how you know.
Okay.
I was wondering if there's a way to go in here and show the battery in the settings, but I don't think that there is in the settings option. The Bravo recorder will tell you when it's low on battery. So if a patient is having a battery issue, it will say urgent, battery is low, plug into charging. So the patient would know. I mean, whoever was with the Bravo recorder would know.
So it'll start beeping at 6 feet. Is there an actual limit? Like that,
6 feet.
that
That is the limit. So if they go past 6 feet, this thing, it takes about 30 seconds. Because let's just say, I have a Bravo, right? And it's right here in my esophagus above my LES. And I'm, let's say I'm like 6 feet away. Let's just call this 6 feet. It's not gonna beep immediately. It's gonna take about 30 seconds while it tries to regain signal. When it can't regain signal, that's when they're gonna start hearing the beep. And that's when it turns orange, and it's letting the patient know, hey, whatever capsule I was supposed to be paired to, I am not receiving signal anymore, so get back in range. And so the way for a patient to get back in range is they need to take this and hold it to their chest for 30 seconds. That will re-engage
That's
the capsule.
nice to know. Because it's like they freak out when it's like continuous beep. I didn't know that.
Give it 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's just like if you had to Bluetooth your phone to your car. It doesn't happen like instantly. Give it a few seconds. When your car get back, get it in range. It takes it a few seconds, and it will work, and you can talk with the Bluetooth again.
And how long does it take for the capsule to come off?
The capsule to come off. It's gonna vary by person, but it will last. I mean, it's made to last at least 96 hours. It's just about how fast their esophagus, the lumen
Sloughs.
turns over and sloughs off.
Okay.
Some patients knock it off. They'll go home and eat steak, and they won't, and it like knocks. I mean, it just depends on the person. But if they're following the instructions, my hope is it would be off within a week.
Yeah. Okay. Within a week. Okay.
Within a week. That would be the hope. There's no way for Medtronic to say, hey, we'll be off by this day because everyone's body is different.
At least I can give them a time frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the setup of the recorder. Just remember the toggling down, confirm, and on the main screen, it will show you the date and time. Always just make sure that's correct. And then when you press start study, so the option is to start a study, right? On this page, we're gonna press enter. That's when it shows, hey, today's date is, this says 12/14 of 21. It's 2:10 p.m. and we're gonna do 1 capsule at 96 hours. If any of that information is incorrect, this is your only opportunity to change it. So you would press the cancel button and you would go back into your settings, toggle down, press enter, and go back and change it. If you press confirm, you cannot go backwards. Once you start a study and you confirm and it starts pairing to a capsule, you cannot undo it. Question?
Oh, can I
Please.
try it out?
Please.
Okay.
So I'll keep talking. I'll keep talking while he's doing it. So just know, good job, Pablo.
Let's see him struggle.
So just know that's your only opportunity to change it. So if you're like, shoot, this was supposed to be a 48-hour study, but I set it for 96 hours,
Don't confirm.
just, it's gonna be fine. Because it will keep recording for 96 hours and it's fine. If it were a 48 hour and you set it for 24, that's when we've got a bigger issue because it's not gonna record enough. But if it records too much, I tell the physician, hey, more information, it's fine. They just need to wear it for a couple of more days. You know, like that's the worst thing that's gonna happen is, hey, they're either not gonna get enough study time with what the physician wanted, or they're gonna have too much time. I would love to be on the latter end of, hey, it's accidentally too much time because more information gives us more information.
Yeah.
Question?
So initially we turn it on, we don't start study, we go to settings, right?
Yeah, you
go
can
to
press
settings, they're like, can we do 96 hours instead of 48?
Cool.
So then
So how would you know before going to settings what it was set to?
you can click on settings. It'll tell you, right?
Yep.
48.
What's another way it'll tell you?
Start study.
That's right.
Start study.
So either way you do it, it's going to tell you what time the study duration is.
So if I click start study, it'll tell me.
Yep, so try it. So what does it say?
Okay, yeah.
So it says the date, time,
Today.
study, how many capsules.
Okay.
Now, some people ask, and I'm just gonna throw this out here, this might be too much information. This is probably never going to happen, but you can change the capsule number to 2. So if it is accidentally press set to 2, you need to change it to 1. Some people will place an upper and a lower. It's very rare. It happens very rarely. It's very particular patients, but they will get an upper and a lower, and you can pair up to 2 capsules per recorder. So it should always stay at 1. I don't see anyone going in there and changing it, but if somebody were playing around with it and accidentally changed it to 2, just change it to 1. It can be done. So just note that just for extra layer of protection.
Just put the cursor button.
Yep. So same thing, toggle, enter, toggle, enter. That's how you're gonna get through the whole recorder.
Got it. Yeah.
How do we feel about setup of the recorder?
I think it's good.
Yeah,
Toggle,
we like it?
toggle, enter, toggle, enter.
The best part about pairing the capsule is you just take off the magnet that's on the capsule. That's all you do. So setting it up is going to be probably
How long
the most,
can we set it up before the procedure?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
Until
start the
it's
study
ready.
until, here's the beauty. You can get this all ready to go. You can even clear the
Clear it.
data before, and you can have a capsule paired within 30 seconds.
Okay.
So I would not open a capsule until he says, okay, I'm for sure gonna do a Bravo.
Oh.
So
okay.
if a physician, if he or she says, hey, we're gonna do an EGD, just wanna make sure and confirm. Let's just say you opened a Bravo and you paired it. Well, we've gotta waste a capsule now. But that's the beauty of Cal-Free, is because it takes so little time. Previously we had to soak it, right? And it took forever.
Yeah.
It was a
It was
nightmare.
a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. Okay, so now with Cal-Free, we have the ability to, 1, save time, and 2, we can pair it kind of at the last minute, so we're not wasting any capsules.
Mhm.
So, what we can do is, and this is up to you guys. Let's just say we've got a Bravo on the board. And the physician says, before we roll the patient back, hey doc, we go in there and say, hey doc, just want to confirm, we're doing a Bravo, how long's the study? Here she says 48 hours, 1 capsule. Okay, great. So what we can do on our end is we can go on the recorder, get it in the room, make sure it's charged. We can go into start study, press enter, and confirm date, time, and study duration. If it is correct, we can press OK, enter, and what it will say is clearing data. It takes about 2 minutes, and it's clearing the previous patient that had this Bravo. Then it will turn into waiting for pH capsule. That's once the data is cleared, it will say waiting for your pH capsule, and this is the point at which you can open the capsule. But we don't want to open the capsule till the patient's in here. So you can press escape, and it goes back to the main screen. So now we've already cleared the recorder, and we've saved 2 minutes of time. So now when doc goes and does the EGD, hey, I'm for sure gonna do this Bravo. All you do is press start study, and it'll say waiting for capsule. You take the magnet off, boom, you're paired in 30 seconds.
Boom.
The recorder will show the lot number associated that it's reading. So just confirm, there's stickers when you open the capsule. There's like 3 stickers on the capsule. Just confirm the lot number matches the lot number that's showing up here. Press OK, and you're paired. That's all you do for the procedure. The doctors know how to do the rest. If you forget any of this, I have a nifty little quick reference guide.
Yay!
Step by step.
Now we have a video and a nifty guide.
That's
Okay.
right. So this literally is like step 1, prepare the capsule device. Check the expiration date on I mean, it goes through everything. So if you've never done a Bravo and you can read, you can get through it. Yep.
And also, there's a YouTube video for the patients to watch.
Yes.
So, because when we do pre-calls, we can tell them to do it beforehand, so they don't feel so lost.
That's right. Yep. Okay, so that's the next piece. So we just got through recorder setup and what we've got to do before it gets dropped, and then we're going to go over patient. So do you have a question?
Yeah, so once it's paired, it'll just say paired, or?
It will turn into, let me show you a picture of the screen, because I don't have a capsule to like waste, but you are going to see these shapes on the screen. It'll be a little human, like a little characterized human, and you'll see shapes like this, or like a heart that's like burning, like for heartburn, like you'll see shapes on it. Okay. And the telltale sign of how to know a capsule is paired is in the top right corner. Okay, see, here's our battery. Can you see that it's full? Battery is fully charged, that's what it looks like. When a capsule is fully paired, there'll be a number 1 with a box around it in the top right corner.
When a what now?
When the capsule is paired, meaning that you're paired and your study has started, there will be a number 1 in the top right corner where this sign is. So this screen goes away, and this battery will turn into a number 1.
Got it.
So if a patient's like, I'm at home and my recorder's not working, it's not pairing, I don't know what's going on, I would say, is there a number 1 in the top right corner? And if they say yes, hey, it's recording, you've got what that means that your capsule is paired.
You still have your capsule.
You still have your capsule.
Yeah.
They try to self-diagnose all day long. It'll hear a weird sound, or they think they saw a different color, or it'll make a weird sound because they messed with something and they pressed buttons they weren't supposed to, and they stress you guys out. And it's, as long as there's a number 1, it's working.
Got it. That's good to know. Perfect.
What instances would we need
Pills.
Pills.
Or capsules.
Capsules.
In what instances will you need to what?
Two capsules.
Pills. You know how you can change number like 1 or 2?
You won't.
Okay.
She's saying it's possible, just make sure your setting says 1 capsule.
I would always make sure 1 capsule. What I'm saying is, if somebody were accidentally playing around with the recorder, like if we're doing this in service and like, hey, somebody that wasn't here that watches this video and it's like, hey, I'm gonna play around with this and toggle and change it. Let's just say it accidentally gets changed to 2. You need to change it back to 1.
Okay.
Yeah. The physician will tell you, it has not happened. I have not done it in 5 years that I've worked here. If that helps you. Haven't done 2 capsules. It's just possible. It's like very rare occasion. Okay, any more questions about the recorder setup? Okay, I think I just made your lives also a lot easier
You did.
with the video. There are 2 patient videos. One is in English, one is in Spanish. It's an 8-minute cartoon. It shows them what a Bravo is, what it looks like, how they're gonna go down and get it placed in their esophagus.
Thank the
It
Lord.
says, hey, if you have a nipple allergy, let your physician know. It also tells them how to use the recorder. hey, you press this button when you have an associated symptom. You know, check on your patient diary to confirm. It walks through everything. It talks about what to eat, what not to eat. What we really want them to do is go back to their normal habits, but we don't want them to sit around and like sip on a Coke all day because it's super acidic, or sip on coffee, right? We want them to go back to normal, but really isolate their meals into meal times instead of having like snacks throughout the day. We want really isolated meal times. And if we're gonna eat things really robust like steak, we need to chew it up really well, because otherwise those types of things could knock it off.
What's the recommendation as far as medications?
Normally, it's off PPIs.
Got it.
But it will say on here, this is where you can send them home with it.
The doctor wants it.
They'll,
Especially Dr. Mendes.
some people
Oh, yeah.
cannot handle going off their antacid or PPIs or whatever. And so this is a great way. This is a copy that I've made for you guys. I can send Christy a digital copy.
Actually, can you send it to both of us?
I can send it to everybody.
Me too.
Yeah,
Where are you
because
at? I can send
Nice.
digital copies,
been down that road.
or you can copy these, and let's say we're gonna do, like, we'll print them off, like we've got 5 Bravos this month. You can print off 5 copies, so you're ready to go, and you can have like a Bravo, like, packet that you can access.
Yeah, we'll do both.
Okay, so just know these are yours, and I'll leave these with you.
Okay.
There's English and Spanish for diaries too.
Nice. And
There's
does it have the
also-
link for the video on there as well?
Not on here, so I'll get to that.
Okay.
So on here though, it still has patient instructions,
Uh-huh.
very written out,
Sorry.
very pretty. It has recording events. Hey, when you're lying down in meals, you press this button to start. I mean, it's really descriptive. It tells whether or not, bless you, using the buttons. Okay, how to use the buttons. Goes through, has pictures, using the diary, which is what this is. And then it also shows them if they forget what the buttons on the recorder means. It's got a breakdown. It really has everything. I think patients truly, they get a little lazy, they don't want to read, and they call you because they get worked up, and I would just refer them to their resources because they have everything that they need. This diary, I would encourage them to fill it out, and I would send every patient home with one, because if they can't figure out how to use the recorder and they're a little technologically challenged, they can at least write it out. Hey, at 12:30, I had lunch, and I had, chest pain or regurgitation right after. Oh, hey, I was sitting down, and at 2 o'clock I had chest pain. They can write it out. If they did nothing on the recorder and they push 0 buttons, the physicians will still have readings, and they can correlate it to this handwritten diary if they can't figure that out. So this is kind of a fail safe, if you will. So it's good to have both.
Do y'all get that?
You can just send it to us.
Do you send them home with diaries now?
Not anymore, since we have the uncalibrated thing.
You don't send them home with diaries.
I tell my people to do it. I tell them to write it out on just a notebook piece of paper every time. But
Okay.
the thing is, it's not always conveying. I'm gonna send them with every one of those.
This, if it helps you,
Son will give it
start
to the
time,
doctor.
end time, meal.
So instead
lying
of
down.
writing whatever they want, they have at least this to kind of
That's
guide
right.
them. So
Medications
yeah.
they're taking, if
Yeah.
they belch, if they coughed, any comments.
Yes. So we need to know from the doctor if they need to stop their PPIs or not. So
That's right.
You
will
ahead of
know
time.
that. The technical support said it should not be not applicable when we download the video. There is on or off button.
That is right.
So we have to know in the pre-op if they are on or off the video.
That's
Yeah.
right, because when you create the study and you go in there, that's right. The other.
Well, we need to
thing-
call when we do pre-calls. We need to let them know, hey, as well, because some people don't even know what a Bravo is. They don't even know they're having it till the day of, which is crazy. But
Here you go.
It's
the IT.
Hey,
Hello. How are
almost
you?
done. I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm almost done.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry.
No worries.
One thing else I'll mention on the diary. We're talking about a recorder having battery issues. So there is an option to write the patient name, the serial number of the recorder. So if we did have an issue, we
know
know
which one.
recorder it is.
praise the Lord. I swear
So-
this is all it's so great.
I'm so sorry you guys haven't had this. There's been a diary since Bravo was invented. So I don't know if we just haven't got it. Okay. Well, you got it.
We need to have a legend.
Okay.
Just saying, like 2
So-
years ago.
All the resources I'm leaving you, as a recap, everything that we went over to set up the recorder. It's 2 pages, got pictures. I believe in you guys. Then there's a video that the patients will watch before they go under anesthesia. I would highly recommend watching it before they go under anesthesia, and I would make their ride home, or whoever's helping them get to and from their procedure, watch it as well. The beauty of having a video is, let's say they forget, they wake up and they're like, oh no, there's a link on YouTube, and they can watch it at home if they forget. So they can watch it as many times, and hopefully that mitigates the amount of phone calls that you guys are getting of like, what the heck do I do with my Bravo?
Yeah, so we need to do when we do our pre-op calls, we need to make sure that they can both watch it prior to maybe,
That's right.
and then probably one time in pre-op if they're just sitting there.
That's right.
Okay.
What I was talking to Ro about was, I have accounts that they've created like a QR code, and like they just copied and pasted the YouTube link into like a free QR code generator, and they have it set up like in English and in Spanish, and they'll have patients scan it in pre-op and they watch it there. I have some physicians who are like, no, when they leave my office scheduled for a Bravo, that I want them to go home with the link, and so their manager gives them the link. So it just depends on how you guys want to do it. Okay, so what probably needs to happen, I sent Christy the YouTube links, but I can send you an email and Ro an email after this, so you'll
Yeah.
have the links. You guys can create your own QR codes. You can create your own QR. You can even save it on your picture on your cell phone,
Okay.
like a QR code,
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, patient, scan my phone," and it will take them to the link on YouTube in Spanish or in English, whichever one you happen to
Okay.
scan. Super easy. They can watch it.
Okay.
So that takes you having to explain, "Hey, here's the indications. Here's what we're doing. Here's what you're doing today. Here's how it's gonna feel. Here's what you should eat afterwards." It's 8 minutes. It tells them everything. You don't have to do it anymore.
Praise the Lord.
Cool. If they have questions, all of this, especially in the diary, I hope you send them home with the diary now. You can check your work by going to the diary and saying, let me double check. And you can go through this with them. Has everything that you need
Praise Jesus.
to know. Then, I don't know if you guys are in charge of uploading them.
We are.
I have a how to upload them.
Oh,
Plug it in.
we are lucky.
Open the software. Here's what you do. It's literally step by step. You cannot mess it up. And if you have issues, call me.
I'm gonna have to make a little folder thingy. So
I
we can
brought
have
it. You can have this. So you can put it in a folder, but I've labeled this Bravo.
Uh-huh.
All of these are gonna go in here.
Yeah.
You guys can take them out as you need them, put them back in here. You can make copies of them. I can also send you digital forms of them.
Yes.
So this is, this is for you guys to keep.
I'll take
Any
digital too.
questions?
Yeah.
Digitals too. Okay. What's your question?
Oh, well, just the main thing, whenever, I mean, I'm sure it's there, but whenever they have to press the buttons,
Yep.
they have to wake it up,
That's right.
press the button,
That's right.
and then press, and they just leave it again, or?
Yeah, so that's a great
They don't have
question.
to
Let's
press
go over
anything.
this.
Yes,
because-
let's
let's go
go
over
over
this because it goes over this in the video, but this is probably the most important part. So right now, if I have chest pain and I have a Bravo, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have chest pain. It's the circle because I've been pressing that 20 times. I know which one it is, and I press the circle. Okay, I recorded it. Did I actually record something?
No.
No, I just woke it up. So you need to tell them, remind them, hey, the biggest part that I hope you took away from that video is treat this like your cell phone. Wake it up first, then press a symptom button. So wake it up till you have a backlight, and you can see the pictures, and then press either the triangle, circle, or square. And they know what those mean. They're gonna know what they mean. And most patients will have very similar, so like somebody's gonna have regular regurgitation, is gonna be pressing the same one over and over, somebody's gonna have chest pain or whatever.
And
Now,
then-
the symptom buttons, the ones on the end, is that what you're gonna ask?
Well, they don't have to press, like, so let's say they feel it, they wake it up, press, they don't have to press it back
No.
to turn it.
Not for this, so I call these, this is my terminology, and this is just what I think. So I call the 3 middle buttons symptom buttons. So that's gonna be like, hey, I've got chest pain, regurgitation, heartburn, I'm belching, those are our symptoms. I call these on the 2 end our duration buttons. So one of them has a picture of a fork and a knife, indicating a meal. The other one has a picture of a patient in a bed, indicating a supine event, or elongated period supine event. Those are the buttons we have to start and stop. So we wake it up, time to have lunch, we're gonna have our Chick-fil-A today, press start, and this button will blink.
Okay.
It's gonna blink green. And it's gonna blink, and it's gonna blink, and it's gonna blink until you tell it to stop. So if they call and they say, this is blinking green now, it's not blinking blue. First question I ask is, did you start a meal and not stop it? or did you go night-night and not tell her that you woke up? One of those two things happened, and it's going to, so what happens is, when their study is over and we upload it on the computer, it's gonna look like they ate for 4 hours. And it's like, great, you didn't really eat for 4 hours, you ate for 30 minutes. We can manually go back in the study and change that, but it's really helpful if they just know, hey, start and stop. Or if they're like, hey, that stresses me out, I don't know if I can commit to that, just have them write it down. Say, hey, can you just press the buttons for when you feel chest pain, regurgitation, heartburn, and can you just write down your meal times on the study?
Awesome.
That's another way to do it, and then we can manually, the physician can manually input those times in the study. That's another way too. But that's a great question. That's probably the number one thing. They need to wake it up. Symptom buttons we press once, duration buttons we start and stop.
Okay. And let's say, okay, for the sleeping or the supine,
Yep,
they'll blink green also while
That's
they're
right.
supine, and then it's blue, they're
yeah, blinking
Yeah.
green means, hey, we're turned on. So blinking green means we're eating right now. We're eating right now. Or blinking green means, hey, we're going night-night. And so we're gonna blink. And then when you're up, because right, a lot of people can have reflux when they're supine. So it's really important for us to differentiate a supine event, because the doctor is like, hey, they're having reflux, but they are supine. So sometimes that can help them get to the bottom of why the Meester score might be so high. So, or like if they're eating something acidic, so if they're drinking a Coke or drinking coffee and they spike, well, we need to know that they just ate something acidic, not that they're having a reflux event, right? So that's why we let them know this is a time where I'm laying down for a long period of time. Now they're probably gonna be like, well, what if I sit down and watch TV for an hour? Like, no, I wouldn't call that, a major supine event. If they're completely flat, completely flat for an hour, they can if they want to. And if they're refluxing, we probably need to know about it. But this is more for when you go to bed at night when you wake up. If
No,
they're like, hey, if I
they can have a symptom entry while they're sleeping.
That's right.
Okay. Just want to make sure, because I've been asked that question before, and I was like, yeah. I didn't know.
What I would
I just like made it up.
What I would tell them to
Oh,
do
wow.
is the nighttime thing gets really weird, because I don't know if you've gotten this question, but like, what if I get up to TT in the middle of the night? I get in the
Yeah.
bathroom. No, just have them write it down.
Write it down.
Hey, I woke up, I saw it was like, midnight. I need to use the restroom, and I felt chest pain. And so just have them, they'll mental note, and they'll write it down in their diary. I just wouldn't have them mess with the recorder at night. It usually messes things up. Just have them put it on your nightstand, start the night time. When you wake up, turn it off. If they go to the bathroom for 30 seconds, a minute, it's not gonna be a big deal. Meal times are a big deal. They need to really try to isolate, like not snacking throughout the day. They really wanna try to eat breakfast at breakfast, lunch and dinner. Whereas like, I'm kind of like, I eat like a bird, and I just eat a lot of little things like all day long. Like,
They just need to have breakfast, lunch, dinner.
they really need to really try to isolate it, because if they're eating regularly and those things are acidic or causing reflux, it doesn't help the doctor figure out what's going on. So really try to isolate meals. That would be the one thing. Otherwise, they can go back. They say, well, can I go back and eating and drinking like normal? Yes, that's what we want them to do, but we want them to do it in fragments of time. So we watch what their body's doing outside of those meal times. Any other questions about Bravo? Like I said, you're gonna have everything you need in this packet and digital copies.
She has instructions for us for setting it up and downloading, which is nice because of,
We go there for this.
Okay, so that's the end of
That's the end of Bravo.
Okay. Oh.
Yay.